Hello, West Pacific Market Analytics again here, and it's Glenn with our new AI stock review, Unleashing the Top Models. And what I want to do with this report, and we'll see how often we're going to run this, but it's just to present to you a lot of the different AI models. I pretty much have the entire sector model, at least the top 50%, which is about 20 stocks. And of course, that includes a lot of the ones we're already looking at the top 10. And I'll go over that list with you briefly as we get started here. And let's jump right into it. Let's not waste any time. Again, if you want to get a hold of me to do a podcast or to talk about Discord membership, destinytrading@gmail.com. Be happy to talk with you. Let's not waste time. Again, the disclosure, the disclaimer, charts and models are for entertainment purposes only. Always do your own risk analysis. All right, NVDA came out with earnings after the bell. So let's jump straight into NVDA here. Let's get into this. I set up this whole group of models here for my members in our sector section here, where we've been talking about a lot of different data. So let's go into it. This is where we're keeping our AI model. So let's start with this key model right here. And this is a model of the whole AI sector. And what we can see, 50% of this is obviously the main players are PLNT, AMD, Advanced Micro, Broadcom, Meta, Apple, NVIDIA, Amazon, Netflix, IBM, Cisco, Adobe, Alphabet, Google, Microsoft, Salesforce, Qualcomm, Intel, Oracle, ServiceNow, Tesla, and Accenture. That's about 50% of this index. Now, there's, of course, a lot of other players. I'm going to include a few of those here in this report today. I've got a lot of other small little players in the AI space that we might look at in a future report. But today I just want to dig into the main body of this thing. This is a nice little index because you can see the blend is the largest here is PLNT at only 3.4%. So this really brings in a lot of the other players and kind of takes out like NVIDIA, which is 10% of the normal indexes. And you can see in this index, it's not even that big of a player. It's much smaller. It doesn't factor in. So that is just something that's much, much more important. And actually, we don't even have, NVIDIA in this index. I thought I had it in here, but no, it's not part of it, which is good because to tell you the truth, oh, there it is, I knew it had to be in there. It's only 3.2%, right? So that's great because in the other indexes, it's 10% now of the NDX and the SPX. Sorry, it's been a long day. I really wanted to get this report out today. So we can see what's interesting here is let's click in on this. And what we can see right here, let's go into this little box right here. And you look, this goes back into 2023, 24, and 25, okay? And what's interesting here, as the indexes continue to move up, you can see that we've had these peaks. That was a high. You can see this peak here is a high, a peak here is a high, a peak here is a high. And now we've got, after that big swoon down, another peak here. And I'm going to show you why I feel we had to have one more high. And it's starting to show up in some of these other models. And I really do kick myself for not going down this road a year or two ago, looking more at trading models, getting away from the internal type models of the market. We're still going to be looking at those ahead. And I'm glad that I got all that work done because it's still going to be very important to everything ahead. But obviously, put a bit too much time in there. Now it's just time to move forward. So let's just get into this. So you can see that right now we're looking at a top within that model. Now let's go straight into the AI model again here. This is that model. You notice on this first push down that the dot curve, it's still not topped, right? So you can see now on the AI model that the curve has topped. We're starting to roll over. The momentum's coming out and we've had a signal top roll over. Now what's going to be important here is I want you to focus in on this signal top because we're seeing this now. We didn't see this at the high over here, but we're seeing this signal top here across a large group of models. So I want to key in on that. But let's start with NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks done here. The report, sure, you can say it looked fine. They met their numbers or just a tiny beat. But, the reality is that at some point, we had news coming out today that the French government might be talking about needing an IMF bailout. Countries all over the world right now are running out of money, including America. And there's going to be a big theme in 2026, and that's going to be they're going to have to slash and burn this deficit spending. They can't keep going down this road. So government is a big part of this whole AI scenario. Sure, it's the big players like Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and all those with their various data centers, very, very important. But obviously government's a big player in all this as well. And we have got to cut our spending, and that is going to be a big thing in 2026. We have simply got to pull back from the deficit spending. And I think we're going to see that in the models. I don't really care about what. I only care that we see it. So we can see this top here in the signal. You see it right there on NVIDIA? We're now targeting 138, but in reality, we could see something completely different here. Look at this model on NVIDIA. You notice here how perfect this was. So look back here at only 34, and now we're up here at 184. Nobody wanted it back here, right? Isn't that amazing? They've done a great job of hyping this whole AI thing in 2024 to drive this whole beast. Nobody wanted it back here, right? You get ahead of it for 10 bucks. Now everybody wants it at 184. Come on, give me a break. Anyhow, you can see it moving down here with the velocity. You can see the velocity's topped out here, and notice how NVIDIA topped out and the velocity continues to break. But then we had this pop out here off of that low at 86 on that last rally back up. We could be seeing this last rally back up because NVIDIA is tied into all the indexes. But in reality, once this rolls over, we can see the trend is breaking down and velocity is broken. We could see a collapse in NVIDIA to I think 83. And let me show you why I like that target. Here's 83. That takes us to the gate on this particular model. Now notice here was the first top here in 2001. Here was the second top here in 2007, and now we've got the signal focused up here, rolled over, being a 1, 2, 3, a third top here. It looks done, it's turned down, and we get an 83 target. We push this further. Here's an NVIDIA model. Notice the bear cross right here, right back here. We had this sell-off, then we had it rally, which is okay because we could rally back up here in the V channel to the dot curve. On this last low here at 86, the curve it's still not topped. Now you notice on the bear cross here, the V channel is down here, and we've got a target to the flows. I'm going to want to see how these break in the coming few weeks when we come back and visit this. We're going to be looking at the same modeling every time we do this report, and we come up with an 83 target here as well. And so I think we could very much see an 83 kind of play happen here on NVIDIA because we see the whole sector topping out. That's Palantir. Let's go back to that. Let's go Palantir. Let's keep it in order here, and then I'll get into it. Palantir looks ugly here. Look at this complete collapse in trend. We've got still a flat lining here on the velocity, but Palantir looks ready to collapse. This is an absolutely insane valuation. And I've got people saying, Glenn, they're going to grow into it. I say, are you kidding me? This has got $2.53 a share. It's now trading at 145 with a high at 190. It's got a 2.19 billion float, absolutely massive amount of shares that are going to need to be sold. It's got a great position here. It's got no debt. But does this make sense? It's got 3.44 billion in revs to a $361 billion market cap at current price. You simply cannot justify that. You can't grow into that kind of valuation. When this frickin' pops, man, it is gonna rip lower. I've got an initial target of 117 on Palantir, and we were right here at 75, only back at the low in April. Get the heck out of Palantir. You notice we're holding it in a line right here, heading to 117, and I think heading down here into the V channel again, back down here in the 70s or 80s. If you're in Palantir, get the heck out of Dodge here. You can see we still haven't broken down yet. We haven't gotten the signal yet to go short it, so you don't want to short, but I definitely would be taking profit on these turns in the signal. Don't mess with it. Look at this. You notice Cisco here. We finally got the focus on the top of the signal. Look at that, going all the way back to 1992 here. Look at these signals. We've got a blue signal coming out of this low. We've got an orange signal coming out of the low of 2002. And we've got this signal going all the way back to the 1990 period, late 89, 90, all focused up top now and rolling over. We see that in Cisco. We see that right here. Again, in Oracle, look at perfect focus signal getting ready to roll over. We've got a 131 target on Oracle sitting at 260 right now. Same setup. Oracle's top, Cisco's top. Again, let's push down. Excuse me, we already looked at that one. Oh man, what did I just do? Hang in there, guys. Hit the wrong button. Let's pull it back up. Okay, here we go. We're back in. So there's Cisco. Let's push through these because this is really interesting. And I think this just speaks of this huge top we've got in the market. Where were we? Cisco. Okay, here we go. Oracle. We've got the same thing. Focused up and roll over. We've got a 131 target on Oracle coming down from 260. We talked about our Cisco. Did that. We looked at Oracle top. We're looking here at IBM top. Look at IBM 294 roll over. I've got an initial target of 177 on IBM. It's done. Look at every single one of these in the AI sector is finished. Qualcomm finished at 225, has already sold off aggressively to 163. I've got an initial 141 target and potential 81 here on Qualcomm near term. Look at the trend just dropping away here. Look at the flows. This is just big time selling. Everyone's pulling the cord and getting out of Dodge. This is going to get really interesting. SAP had a signal low in 2003. Same scenario, signal top, and it has rolled over. It's done. Taiwan Semiconductor. Look at that triple signal. One coming back here, going back out into the 1990s. A second signal low here. A third signal low here. All focused up and rolled over. Taiwan Semiconductors has topped. I like it. It's got a great balance sheet, but it's done. Now let's go quickly here into CrowdStrike. I don't like CrowdStrike. I would, you could have got out at 517 here. We're only now rolling over on the velocity. The trend's breaking down. But the problem I don't like with CrowdStrike is simply the numbers like anything else. This has got 4 billion in revs with a 104 billion market cap. Now come on, folks. I mean, if we used to say 10 times was expensive, that would be a 40 billion market cap. So cut 409 in half at 200, it's not cheap. You just can't own this. I mean, this is just absolutely crazy valuations. You can't grow into that. I mean, you're going to have to sell so many data center build-outs, you can't grow into it. I've got a 270 target coming on CrowdStrike, and then we'll see what it wants to do. Probably going to break lower. We were at 200 here back in August of last year. 270 on CrowdStrike. Forget it. It's heading down. Let's look at CoreWeave. Don't even touch this thing. CoreWeave is a ugly looking balance sheet. They've got 381% debt to equity. At 100% debt to equity, you're bankrupt on paper. Okay? They got 236 in cash, right? Okay? Think about these numbers for a moment. They've got 488 million shares out, a 210 million float, and the thing's got 3.53 billion revs, and even where it's trading here at about 98, 97, that's a $44 billion cap on 3 billion revs, and 65% of their business is with one client, Microsoft. You can see the channels breaking lower. We could get a tiny bounce back up to the channel here at 107, but man, then it's lights out. This thing is heading lower. If you're in CoreWeave, don't mess around with this thing. Aero Environment, same idea. Notice the signal low in 2013, the signal low in 2007, all focused up, it's done. Every single one of these has topped out on signal highs. Again, nothing makes sense. 820 million revs with a 12 billion cap, that's 10, 11, 12 times market cap at this price. They've got what? 0.9 cents cash per share? You're playing with this thing up here with a stock of less than $1 cash a share? Great company in the defense area, but come on. These are nosebleed valuations. Intel, don't touch it. Government came in, no wonder. They need help. I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot barge pole. Look at price just hovering right here, trying to hold the V channel with just the selling breaking away below here. This has got nowhere to go. You could get a little bounce up to about 29 on Intel, but don't even touch it. SoundHound, whew, This was a great run. It's hard to believe that back here this thing went from 4 up to 24 on the hype. I mean, SoundHound probably has great tech, but we're looking at 56 cents cash, right? This thing's got 131 million revs with almost a $5 billion cap. So that means at a $1 billion cap, that would be about 9 times revenues. So times that by 4, we're looking at 36 times revenues at this current valuation. Are you out of your mind holding this? None of these make sense. None of these make sense. Forget the hype. They've done such a great job of hyping this up to bail out to the loose hands. We are going to see a sell-off in the AI. There's going to be some great buy opportunities on the bounce. The bounce will come. We're going to follow the model, and then we're going to chase along that bounce. You can short some of these names. You can make some nice pocket change. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Glenn out.